Start off by pulling the hair back as tight as you can. Find the crown of the head. Brush it back so it's nice and smooth. All the way up. All the way to the top of the crown. Smooth it out. Try to get out all the bumps. Use a different elastic than the bow elastic to secure the hair up at the top. Okay, pull it tight. Make sure it is right up on the top of the crown. If it's not, you can move it forward. Make sure all of these little bumps are inside the elastic so that the hair is nice and smooth. Once you get it up there, smooth it out with a little bit of gel to stop the flyaways and just slick it back. Once the ponytail is in, you can secure the underside of it either with one of these butterfly clips like this, preferably the same color as her hair, and just slide it in and push it down. Or if you want to use bobby pins, the best way to do this is make sure the bobby pin goes downwards on an angle and then crisscross it with another bobby pin downward on an angle. That way it won't pop out. You won't see this because once the ponytail is done, those bobby pins and the clips will be hidden. Okay, once you've got the ponytail in and the flyaways are tucked in, this is gelled back. Don't put gel in the ponytail. Take some mousse, some stronghold mousse. You don't need a lot of it. And make sure that this hair is dry, the ponytail is dry. You want to put some mousse into it, just pull it through so it's still dry but a little bit sticky. If you've got some extra, you could just put it through her hair like this. So what you want to do is take a small piece of hair, about that big, and then take, these are rag curlers. This is just an old cut up t-shirt that I just cut into strips. Doesn't matter if it starts to curl up like that, it's fine. You take the small piece of hair, try to get it as tight to itself as possible. Put the end of the rag to the end of the hair, twist the end of the hair around the rag so it's nice and tight, and then just simply roll the rag so that the hair starts to roll around it. It doesn't matter which direction you roll it, backwards or forwards, it doesn't matter. And get it as close to the elastic as you can, and then once it's at the top, you simply tie it off in a knot. When you've got that knot, make sure that it's not falling loose, it's nice and tight to the elastic in her ponytail. Then take some stronghold hairspray and just give it one spritz just on the top of it. And then you take the next piece of hair and you do as many of them as you need. You don't want to use too much hair and you don't want to use too little hair. Too little hair will make the end result too frizzy, and too much hair, the curl won't hold. So again, take a small piece of hair, pull the rag all the way to the end, twist the end of the hair around the rag, and then roll the rag up. And if there's little pieces like this that start to fall out, you just want to try to tuck them in, keep them nice and close to the rag, roll that all the way up to the elastic, nice and tight, and then tie it off. And then again, take the hairspray, one spritz into the rolled up piece of hair, and then continue doing that until the entire head is done. Once you got all the rags in, the best way to keep this in place overnight is just take a bandana. I normally just fold it into a triangle like this, wrap it around, make sure that all of the pieces are tucked in, and just tie this off in a knot in the front. And that will hold while they're sleeping. They still got lots of room to lie down on the back of their heads or the sides of the heads, however they sleep, and that should stay intact until the next day. Okay, so the next morning, you might have some more flyaways down at the bottom. You want to take a little bit more of the gel just to secure those flyaways. Tuck them back up again. If you've got a re-bobby pin or if you've got a re-butterfly clip, then do that, but just make sure that it's nice and slick. And when you take the bandana off, you should be able to easily just untie the rag. And what I normally do is I just get it going a little bit by pulling it, pull the tail out, and you can just unwind it like that. And see, you're left with a nice little ringlet curl. And you can keep going, taking them all out, pull it out a little bit, and then just unwind the rag that way. That should be the easiest way to do it. If you try to pull the rag out of the hair or untwist it, you're going to lose the effect of the curl. So get it going so that it's a little bit loose, and try to spin the rag out. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't. Spin the rag out, and then you're left with these little curls like this. Once you get all the rags out, the best thing to do is just take your hairspray again, spritz the top of it, and just kind of crunch it up so that it all stays like in the nice tight curls. And then putting in the bow, you want to make sure that the front of the bow faces forward, it sits on top of their hair. Take the elastic and wrap it down under the bottom. You should only have to do this once, twist it, and bring it back up onto the top again. That should secure the bow and make sure that the elastic is down over top of the elastic that's holding the ponytail in, so that the bow sits on top of their head facing forward like this. Then, if you want, as you're driving to the competition, take that bandana again and just wrap it back up around the curls, tie it back up into a bow again just to keep it in place and keep the curls intact. And that should hold it until you get to the competition. Then all we have to do is take the bandana off and they're ready to go.